What if Nancy Pelosi traded crypto? What would she buy?
Oh my God, that's a good question, isn't it? What would she buy?
All right. I think we're live. Dan, how are you?
I'm good. I was expecting that like really cute little introduction that we had last time, where it looked really professional and had like the blockmates and all these like little letters coming through. You caught me off guard then.
Yeah, we're gonna do them post edit now. I've got my younger brother going through some underpaid child labor. He's gonna do all that. You should see some of the the animations that he's been knocking up.
Hey,
You'll have to wait till it comes out in post production to see them. But
wow.
they're so.
Post-production, that sounds proper posh.
Oh yeah, it's just a really easy way to say that we fuck up that much during the recording that we have to kind of edit some shit out.
Yeah.
But yeah, what do you think? ETH up only.
Up only. It's the only way, even though the bottom of that did look like a big M before bouncing back up. Now it's kind of like looking, oh, what's it? It's looking like the Loch Ness Monster now, eh?
Ah yes, the Loch Ness monster pattern.
Yeah.
I just hope we kind of fucking push, just blast through 1700 there, and just,
Mhm.
I mean, the you could kind of see that everyone expected 1700, people front running at 16, people selling out. Like, what's the bottom tick on that? Like, fucking sub 1500, and now you're kind of sat on the sidelines waiting for your re-entry. But I don't know.
Are
I'm
you
comfy.
feeling like this is like a massive like scam pump?
No, I'm kind of the opinion that this will be short lived, but just because it's been short lived, if you have the ability and have the free time to actually play the market on this, or just hold it out and ride, just sit in ETH.
Mm.
Um, I'm I'm kind of happy for the merge narrative to take hold and feed its way in. And to be honest, the boomer markets don't look too bad either. Like, I mean, Nasdaq coming into a little bit of like historic. If we have a look at the weekly, bit of historic support resistance there. S&P, a little bit of bounce, but
Mhm.
seems to be at the right side of like an uptrend there. So I'm not entirely kind of. I mean, we had Ben, who's more of a kind of macro guy who I go to for all that kind of boomer
Mm.
knowledge on like 2 days ago, which is up on the channel. But I think we're all of the same opinion that try and steal as much back from the market whilst the whole merge narrative and everyone's kind of sick and tired of the same old story from the Fed. And but I think a lot of people are also expecting probably to touch down a little bit lower as well. So I'm happy to play it and try to steal back as much as possible, but I'm not exactly hopeful for us to just continue into like complete up only. But yeah, it's been a much nicer week or 10 days or whatever it is since we started
Yeah. I mean, it's been
entering the
great to
green again.
see a lot of green, eh? Like, do you know? Would you now expect like us to retest those like COVID lows? I mean, sorry, the pre-COVID highs.
I mean, I don't like playing the fortune teller, but I mean, it seems quite a logical, like a logical kind of path for us to go down. I mean, you've got Michael Berry coming out and saying we're kind of still in the midst of the everything bubble where there's been that much money pumped in even since like 2007, 2008. All the prices that you see now are completely overinflated by many multiples. So if he keeps sending tweets out and then automatically deleting them, I mean, he's got a brilliant track record, but he's a complete perma bear, isn't he? So
Yeah.
I don't know. I just tend to play what I see. You know, like these TA experts on Twitter are just complete laps in my opinion. You just play what you see. There's no like specific price predictions that are like everyone turns into Mystic Meg on Twitter and laps it up. Just play what you see. If you see a breakdown, it's an obvious trend reversal, then begin to cut positions. So that's the way I like to play it anyway.
Yeah, because you got to think the world still is at war. There still is a global recession. And for us to hit 69 420 again in the short term would be absolutely ridiculous.
Right. So Fridays are for us taking the piss out of whatever's happened this week. So the first thing you've asked to be brought up is it's pretty good news actually. Just want to fill us in why you think this is kind of important.
I think this is hugely important because Epic Games is obviously one of the biggest games companies out there. And the fact that they definitely won't, in quotation marks, which means it definitely is a good thing, they definitely won't ban NFTs and blockchain technology. I think this goes to have like a greater real world adoption of blockchain into games that aren't these shitty little, sorry, excuse the French there, but that aren't these shitty little crypto games that have just come out for people to just grind and like, you know, make a little bit of money on. I think what they'll do now is they'll actually focus on the most important thing for a game, and that's the gameplay. It's the actual narrative. It's the story of it. Instead of you like crushing out, you know, whatever the monsters were on older Axie Infinity, you know, just being completely bored, like they'll have a narrative. And I imagine what they will do, and we're seeing this now anyway, is they'll probably have like a lower barrier to entry, because I would never pay $1,000 for a JPEG to play a game. That is just bonkers. You can go into the Xbox shop, pay like $50, get Call of Duty, and have like a wicked time. If they then add in like the skins and stuff, like let's say World of Warcraft, mate, if I could have bought the Lich King armor as an NFT way back when, I definitely would. And if they can add that in, that's going to be massive. Huge.
Yeah, I think you're completely right in everything you just said. They got Raymond, who's like a long time friend of ours in the space. He's completely GameFi pilled, and I completely agree with what you've just said, and what his whole narrative is around that. The next 100 million people are not going to come in for some Ponzi yield or try and get 7% or 8% on their stable coins when yields are high in crypto. It's going to be GameFi. It usually is games that brings along mass adoption. Mm-hmm. And exactly, you can't set the barrier to entry so high that no one can afford to actually fucking play the game in the first place. And you're completely right in what you're saying. The first iteration of what we've seen of GameFi on chain was effectively glorified yield farming, or yield farming with a few extra steps, with a few different kind of moving animated JPEG slapped on top of it. So yeah, it just makes complete sense that a game should be game focused primarily, as opposed to trying to create this weird Ponzi yield game that looks like a game on the surface, but underneath it's just leveraged difficult yield farming, in my opinion. So yeah, completely agree. And so this is completely in stark contrast to RuneScape. Was that last week or the week before?
That's probably like last week. But like if RuneScape were to like add in blockchain or some form of like NFTs for their like, so it's basically like every year at like big events. So let's say Halloween, you get like a Halloween drop. If they had like an NFT or something that was like a Halloween mask or something, that would be super cool.
Do you not think as soon as one gaming studio, or as soon as like one big gaming house just decides to go full force into it and finds a good kind of product market fit for NFTs within the gaming economy, like the in-game economy, do you not think that just forces the hand of every other gaming studio on the planet?
100%. And if Epic Games can lead the way on that, that'll be massive. I'd be surprised if like we don't hear something from Activision over the next like couple of months, Activision, they obviously own Blizzard. Blizzard own World of Warcraft. Like World of Warcraft, Diablo, these are two in-game economies that you could quite easily add in blockchain technology. And I've always said, like, since I got into crypto, like, why they don't do it, it just doesn't make sense. It's an extra stream of revenue. Your most nerds that are in crypto all came from RuneScape. They all came from World of Warcraft. They all came from like Guild Wars. You know, just look at Jerry. He played games I'd never even heard about, like, because he was first generation like nerd.
On the abacus.
He funded his wedding selling in-game gold. How mental is that?
Yeah, so the OG NFT salesman.
Yeah, man.
Right, what have we got next? Google Pay to allow customers to buy crypto on crypto.com. We were just saying before we jumped on, weren't we? It's like news like this. Like, let's think of like 2017 or something. But if this came out in 2017, everyone would completely throw everything they had left in their wallet at Bitcoin or the rest of the market. But now this kind of news is just like, like no one really gives a shit about this sort of stuff anymore because it's became so kind of frequent and like these kind of rails are becoming a little bit more, like the lines are getting less and less blurred over time. So it's, I suppose it's a good thing and a bad thing, but this thing just doesn't necessarily act as like a huge catalyst anymore. But looking further upon it, it's that ease of access and reducing the kind of barrier to entry for people to be able to pay is huge. Like even if I'm on just a regular app and I can't pay through Apple Pay or Google Pay, I'm just like, oh, do I really have to go and pump my like card details and shit like that in? It pisses me off anyway, just having to use the card. I don't see why everything can't just come out of my wallet. But just things like this, again, removing barrier to entry is obviously a big plus for the industry in the long term. And crypto.com's got some mega adoption, and I think they went heavy on the advertising. Obviously, UFC, they got their own sports arena and things like that as well, didn't they? So I suppose it's net positive, but it just doesn't seem to be affecting the industry in the way that it once was.
Yeah, this is that massive, actually, like really big important news, but it's just boring as anything. Yeah, okay. So Google Pay allows customers to buy crypto on crypto.com. Fantastic, but everybody's got Google on their phone. Most people are going to have Google Pay. Like we were saying before we came on, it just reduces the barrier. And I think things like this will be that catalyst where it brings normies back in, because now they can just do like boop, 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 on their phone and just start to actually buy it with ease. I think that's where we saw the Robinhood generation as well, when they started to do all these options trading. Because now options trading was, right, log on to Robinhood, boop, 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 boom. That's it. Done. Oh, look, magic numbers go up. So I think something like this will come to not a bull run, but steadier times will be massive, mate. Absolutely massive.
Yeah, even Vlad from Robinhood was saying that the reason they made it so simple, I mean, naturally it makes sense to make it as simple as physically possible, but they wanted to like replicate that one, on Amazon where you got like the one-click kind of payments and things like that. They specifically targeted, because they know they were going after a retail market, which crypto.com obviously is as well. Just little things like that, like it's so simple if you've got Apple Pay or Google Pay and now you can kind of onboard through crypto.com with this kind of stuff. But just being able to, like, all I have to do on my phone, double click top right button, it scans, like does the first scan, and then that's it. The payment's done. You don't even know it's kind of came out your bank. It's a different thing if it's like on a Friday night and you've like had 25 pints and then you wake up next morning and your bank balances in tatters because it's so easy to pay. But I suppose for crypto rails, it's a really kind of positive for just to completely remove the barrier to entry. Gone are the days where you'd have to kind of log into Mt. Gox and wonder if you're going to completely get scammed. So now it's just as simple as you say, one or two click, and then you've got your first Bitcoin.
You got your first Bitcoin after a Friday night out.
I bet so many people have done that. I'm probably very. I'm probably some of people's first kind of gateway drug, particularly my friends and just completely convinced them after like 8 pints to just go and spend like some of their savings on it, and then they probably got home and the girlfriends beat them up and chucked them down the stairs.
Wait, then they've made wife changing money after that, eh? You've done them a favor.
Yeah, now they're ringing me up, wondering where I am so they can kick my head in. Right, where we at? Biggest whale in Bitcoin suddenly dumps over 1.4 billion in crypto as BTC cracks up 23,000. Was this a miner, or was this kind of, let's have a little bit look into the whale now holds 54,398 Bitcoin, which makes him the 13th richest BTC address.
See, what's interesting is you've got this massive whale dumping Bitcoin. You've then got Elon Musk dumping Bitcoin, but then it's going up. Now, do these guys know something we don't? Are they trying to manipulate the market? Are they cutting losses before it may go lower? It's a very bizarre thing to see, and it almost doesn't make sense that they are dumping it now. And like, this would not have been after a Friday night and you dump it for like 1.4 billion, right?
Well, what it could be is, if it's the 13th richest BTC address. I was kind of thinking about this the other week. With rising energy costs, does that lend itself well to large Bitcoin mining institutions having to offload to kind of realize their profit, because energy costs are so high that they're not exactly going to be in the green for God knows how long? Because that's one of the main factors of their equation to make money, right? It's hash rate, how easy it is to mine, energy costs, overheads, and all that jazz as well. So rising energy costs obviously affect everyone, but particularly if it's one of the large staples or one of the large variables in your equation of how you actually make money, does that lend itself well to Bitcoin miners realizing more often just to make sure that they can survive over winter if they're expecting further downturn? Could possibly be. I'd have to dig into it a little bit more, but 1.4 billion.
Do you remember how much it costs to mine one Bitcoin? Because I remember reading something a little while ago, and they said Bitcoin will never drop below X amount because of the cost to run it at the moment. Do you remember?
Let's have a look. Let's see what, because it's obviously variable, isn't it? Based on this is from Decrypt 6 days ago. JP Morgan strategist may have just called the Bitcoin's bottom price. Obviously, there's more pain ahead. Bitcoin production cost is an estimated average cost of mining Bitcoin one day. Yeah. Right. So according to the data pull from Macro and Micro, for instance, the production cost still hovers at a little over $17,700. So $17,700. When mining costs are lower than Bitcoin's market value, more miners will join. When mining costs are high, number of miners will decrease. The data providing site explains. So you're definitely net positive. And 17,700, yeah. I mean, when effectively a little over half of the hash rate went offline when China kind of really did ban Bitcoin mining. Obviously, overnight, then it became twice as easy to actually mine Bitcoin, so their profits effectively doubled overnight. But now it seems to kind of complete return to hash rate, and it seems to be a lot of people online. But still, a production cost at 17,700. It must obviously this takes into hash rate. It obviously takes into power costs distributed across the world as well. So it's still net positives, which is always a good thing. It's when you start getting into the red where it starts to get a little bit murky. Yeah. So that's always been a good kind of metric to monitor.
So these boys that were mining it right back at the start, they must have had some wicked insider knowledge, because they would have been in a massive loss when Bitcoin was like $100. Unless the cost of production or the cost of mining has just increased.
Yeah, but the cost of, so they were effectively mining it on shitty CPUs or GPUs, can't remember which it was, back in the day. And because the more people that come onto the network to mine, obviously the chances of you actually solving the hash goes up as more people are trying to solve the same kind of cryptographic puzzle as yourself. So as hardware increases in efficiency, obviously the hash rate increases, and the more difficult it is to actually mine Bitcoin. So all these thousands upon thousands of kind of Bitcoin miners spread across the planet are all kind of competing to be solving the next series of transactions, to be creating the next blocks. And then obviously when the network was an awful lot smaller, then the difficulty was completely reduced. So it kind of scales with the network in that regard. But obviously, if you've got tens of thousands, probably even more, trying to mine for the same Bitcoin, that's when the energy debate starts coming. But who knows? Right, what's next?
As well.
What was that address? Matic. Yeah. So we spoke about this last week, didn't we? So Matic was really, really outperforming the rest of the market. And looking at it now, it's obviously twofold. The reason behind that, it's one, it fits into that kind of basket of assets that are gonna kind of continue to run alongside Ethereum up until the merge, and maybe there on after. But obviously underlying that is what came out on yesterday, day before, Wednesday, I think it was, where Matic have obviously for the past I don't know 12 months, maybe give or take a few months, they'd been funding an awful lot of projects that were working on zk's, particularly EVM compatible zk's. They acquired two companies, I believe, like Hermes was one, and now on their last kind of announcement and their last presentation to the public, they announced that they're going to be hopefully by the end of the year have the open source zkEVM available for developers to go and build on top of Matic with zk technology underlying, and then it's going to be EVM compatible as well. So that's huge. I think, as I was saying to you before we started, optimistic rollups will serve a purpose, and maybe they'll be used for settlements for specific DeFi protocols. But I think the end game for a lot of protocols for speed, security, privacy, and everything that comes there with it will be zk's. So I think there's been a real struggle with zk's and the compatibility with EVM, so people can kind of port smart contracts over that are already existing. But if they're saying the end of the year for open source of what they've been developing with the companies that they've acquired and funded, then the zk narrative could be long and strong going into the end of the year. But it completely depends on the wider state of the market. But this is huge. This is huge news, in my opinion.
Huge news. You got to think. So last week they were accepted into Disney's accelerator program. This week they're doing zkEVMs, and then the week before that they're doing the NFTs for Reddit. It's huge. Like Matic is absolutely
the thing I like about Polygon, right, is let's say they were just going through these, like working with Instagram for the NFT configuration for your profile picture on Instagram. They're gonna do a similar sort of thing with Reddit, Disney Accelerator program. If that's the kind of stuff they were doing, but they weren't doing this kind of stuff underneath, then I'd just be like, it's a little bit kind of pulling the wool over people's eyes. Like you see a lot of like Cardano going out there, like just doing ridiculous PR exercises, ridiculous business development, but they have no kind of sustenance underneath it. Matic are doing the business, like in the business development, PR, the partnerships are ridiculous. And then underlying that, they're actually getting shit done as well. So big plus for me. And again, they've kind of, I don't know how they've done it, but they've kind of the Ethereum maxis have kind of warmed to it a little bit as well. They've kind of positioned themselves as this sidechain or Ethereum scaling solution. So they've kind of got the buy-in from there as well. So yeah, Polygon.
Polygon, one to watch.
100%. Right, let's get into this one.
Let's get into the juicy gossip. What have the Kardashians been doing, if anything?
Probably selling NFTs of their ass or something.
SEC Royals. Oh, mate, someone's got to say it. Like, number 69 would be the one that's the most, like, expensive.
Kardashian DAO, Jesus Christ. Well, I don't know how that hasn't came around yet.
Oh, I'm sure it is. No, what was that bird's name? Like Irene Dow or something? She was doing that.
There was rumors that it was there's a guy who's kind of running that account, but you never know.
Oh God.
Right.
Anyway,
So
Insider Trading.
Yeah, SEC Royals Coinbase Insider Trading case by arguing coins as securities. The SEC says 9 coins traded on Coinbase are unregistered securities. The accusation came as Coinbase ex-employee, his brother and friend were accused of buying tokens before they were listed on the exchange. Fuck me. Like, first the OpenSea guy knew what was going to be on the Coinbase homepage. I mean, on the OpenSea landing page, and then you got the Coinbase. One, why would you do that inside such a big company? 2, what are you doing? Not using a fresh wallet. And 3, do they not think this happens in all markets? I'm sure they do, but I think they're just trying to. One, they're making a very big example of OpenSea, which is kind of cuts through in the mainstream. They're making a big example of Coinbase, publicly listed company. But then you kind of got like Brian Armstrong coming out saying like, at Coinbase we actively monitor for illegal activity and investigate alleged misconduct. In April, we received information about possible front running of assets shortly before listing on Coinbase. We immediately launched an investigation of this. So this Washington Post article will, what's this? 21st July 2022, 22nd of July 2022. So this article is obviously forced the hand of Brian Armstrong to come out and say, yeah, we do everything we can to kind of track this. But let me just bring up the one and only.
All I'm going to say when it comes to insider
trading, Kobe tweeted about this months and months ago, and he's saying why are Coinbase listing these dog shit liquid tokens that have like 9 million market cap. And I remember the thread, and it was like, I did think it was a little bit strange that they had all of the bull run to list complete Ponzi's and sap up as many trading fees as physically possible, and they didn't do it. And then as soon as like we cut through and it was quite clear that we were on a downtrend, it's like they just started listing like random shit. And it was like, at least do it when we're in an uptrend so people can actually make some money. So he's obviously came out, and when I added the insider address tweet, I had been tweeting for months about Coinbase listing front-running tokens, and it had become a huge mess. Coinbase front-running was widely known and acknowledged within CT. So, like, it's came to the forefront now. Obviously, Coinbase has been coming under like shitloads of scrutiny. They've obviously had the layoffs. Let's have a look at Coin actually. Let's see what the token's doing. I think that shit's just been down only. I mean, looks like a shitcoin. We've seen some shitcoin charts in our time down. Like don't get me wrong, but this looks exactly like one. Like that's.
But that candle there definitely looks like insider buying. That candle that you don't have like a bottomed out chart with a massive green dildo or blue dildo on your screen. You don't have a massive blue dildo like that unless somebody somewhere knows something. So now they're getting done for insider trading. The chart shows it. That is just blatant. Brian Armstrong is making bang.
Do you not just think they're just hanging someone out to dry? So it's like, yeah, take a little bit of the pressure off.
100%. Of course. I mean, look, insider trading goes on all the time. It's just so happens that these guys got caught. And like, probably the biggest insider trader in the world has been like Nancy Pelosi, right? But she's still there. She's still chilling. Like, she's still doing her insider trading. She's what? She's what, one of the top, like, I don't know, like 40 or 50 wealthiest politicians ever, if not higher up than this. I mean, look at that. That's a beautiful suit, right? That to me is she is shilling Bumble. She is shilling Bumble right there, right now. She's going to be doing something like that. That is, look at her. Look at her. She's talking about Tesla, Microsoft, and Nvidia. No, darling, you're on about Bumble.
Yes, like how the fuck can this be allowed to just continue? Like, I mean, do you follow this Nancy Pelosi stock tracker? It's pretty good actually. They track anytime she just makes a move in the market. The Pelosi's have accumulated 20,000 shares of Nvidia worth 8 million. All the while, the 52 billion CHIPS Act has been CHIPS Act. I don't know what these Americans are up to. Act has been stalled in Congress. Yesterday, Pelosi stated we determined to pass that bill before Congress heads to August recess. Nvidia stock jumps 4% on the news.
No, but I'm just glad to follow it now. Like, have you got a wallet address so I can track it with? What's that wallet address, ladies and gentlemen? Can we get that?
What if Nancy Pelosi traded crypto? What would she buy?
Oh my god, that's a good question, isn't it? What would she buy?
Do you think she'd be like in the Solana camp with a lot of like the big players?
No, I think she'd be in the shitcoins. I think she'd go straight for shitcoins. Because they're the things that you get insider knowledge on, right? She'll be in all these like pre-sales, pre-launches, pump our bags, and then go. So like she's clearly pumped Nvidia. I should be pumping Nvidia.
So yeah, do you think she'd like she'd start incorporating like 300k market cap coins as like put them on the Fed's balance sheet and stuff like that, and just completely run them up to 30 billion and then dump on everyone?
Mate, so long as she pumps this is that thing. So Coinbase were listing all these like shit coins, right? How many of them were mine? 0. If she like pump them, put them onto Coinbase, how amazing! And if there's one of those like tweets, I've just got it here. So Pelosi's net worth is 135 million US dollars. Her salary is 200. Says her salary is 210,000, and her monthly income is like $1 million. Date of birth 1940. Profession house speaker. Nationality American. Mate, this woman, like for insider trading, like she's done really well.
Let me see if this comes up.
Oh, is there an ETF? Jesus Christ. Families first. Don't be stupid, darling.
Are you seeing the ticket?
Insider.
Oh, yeah.
Is that real?
No, this has got to be like the Onion or something, hasn't it?
Mate, I'm gonna have a look on Inside INSDR.
New York Post. Nancy Pelosi makes 30 million from tech stocks. She's outperformed the S&P. The performance-based returns at $173, where Pelosi would have got you $196 on your $100 investment. So 73% for the S&P since 2019. Pelosi would have got $196 for you.
Jesus, can I copy trade her? Are we going long on Nvidia now?
Well, how the fuck can how can someone who can have so much influence over bills and acts being passed be allowed to trade?
She must be getting like somebody else to do it for her.
Well, her husband's like I don't want to get this wrong because it might knock up the Paul Pelosi. Paul Francis Pelosi is an American businessman who owns, operates financial leasing services in San Francisco, real estate and venture capital and consulting firm. So he's obviously a baller as well.
Jesus Christ. That is the biggest scam in the world. That's just ridiculous. But it's still a better love story than Twilight, eh?
All right. Nancy Pelosi on stocks. I don't share information with my husband.
biggest ball of luck, that. That's ridiculous, mate.
Right. What's next? Fucking hell. Franklin. Jesus Christ, what have you been up to? So I'll try and TLDR this. So this Franklin is bored, placed a fake 100 ETH bid on his own ENS. This has triggered some bot online to offer him 1.891 on that. So he's bid 100 ETH on his own ENS NFT. Some bots detected that in the mempool or wherever they've detected it from. It's counteracted the offer with 1.89 ETH, and he's accepted it. So he's just completely lost. I'm trying to find out what the actual NFT is. Let me see. I'm pretty sure he'll have been Franklin in brackets 58 apes. Yeah, Jesus Christ. He's one of these border maxis, isn't he? Jesus.
Proper maxi on that.
So you read that. Hello there. So this is what he sent to some guy. He said, there is an ENS domain that I sold to you for 1.9 ETH, but I forgot to cancel my own fake joke bid of 100 ETH from my other wallet, which you then sold to and received 97.5 ETH after. I've tried to refund you the original 1.9 ETH in the hopes that you reverse all transactions, but I understand if you want to keep the profits. I am creating this from the wallet that you sold from and sending it from the wallet you sold to. Franklin. Fuck me, Franklin. Jesus Christ. Stop trying to play the fucking game.
So how much money did he actually lose then?
I think he's lost like 97. And then someone's minted, stop doing fake bids, it's honestly lame. My guy.eth has a new bid of 100 ETH.
Jesus Christ. That's mental, isn't it?
Oh, God.
Mate, crypto math is scary.
Yeah. Well, you shouldn't be trying to. Well, I know everyone does it, to be honest, but shouldn't be trying to fucking game the system.
What a douche. What a douche.
Oh, well. So, I mean, I'm kind of sick of talking about it, but I get sick of talking about 3AC, and then just another ridiculous piece of news comes out, and it's kind of too funny not to cover. So the first bit was from Arthur, who obviously the founder of Defiance Capital and extremely close ties to 3AC whilst they were around. So Arthur's tweet was immaterial, but at this point it should be clear that 10 billion figure was a gross overestimation of peak assets under management. Their NAV was around 3 billion at the end of December 2021 and 2.38 billion at May the 13th, 2022. There isn't any market opportunity for a 3 billion fund to 3x this from December 21 to May 22 and back down. So he's effectively saying that the ridiculous figures that were like 10 billion plus, I heard some people say like 40 billion and stuff like that, it was just completely uninformed. So, but he's quite right in what he says in this thread as well. It's saying. So he's retweeted one of Suzu's tweets from December 7th, 2021, saying, You say 400 million is dust when it's 13% of your assets under management. Dust has acquired a new meaning. So what does that tell you? It tells you that, in my opinion, correct me if I'm wrong, but that tells me Sue was a complete LARP. So he was trying to over-exaggerate and talk his AUM up so that he could go out and then extract more capital from people who were kind of had their rose-tinted glasses on about them. They thought they had this. They thought they probably had an extra 10x the capital that they actually had, so they were willing to lend them I don't know, billions upon billions. Well, not billions upon billions. We know that that's not the case now, but hundreds of millions based on their own kind of self-portrait online. So, and he was definitely playing on it. Like, look, like it's, he's saying 100k ETH is dust. Like, and
But, oh, mate, like seriously, like, so you've got $100 million to play with, right? And you've got this absolute pleb saying like, you know, look, I can let you guys jerk off watching the burn without me. ETH layer 1's still unusable to newcomers. Go show it to your grandma. Would you really give this man $100 million to go and like play around with?
yeah, under collateralized as well. When they were getting like 20x leverage off people like deposit, like it's fucking stupid. Like honestly, like we next time around, we need to be extremely careful of anyone who's a little bit self-prophesizing and self kind of basically sucking their own dick for everyone to see, because everyone who's done that throughout has followed the same character arc.
Yeah.
And now, when all's said and done, they've either completely left this space, their projects went to zero, or they're in hiding somewhere.
There's only two people that aren't in hiding, and that's the guy. I forget his name. The guy that runs Hex, who wears like the Gucci dad suit that he should just go to Primark and get. And you got old Charles Hoskins, right? You know, they just they're like these like prophecies and like gurus or whatever. Projects have gone to zero, but they're still larping on without having a witch hunt after them, because what they do is funny and it just creates a lot of good content for people.
I suppose Justin's son's up there as well for Tron.
Yeah,
he's like an evil Bond villain that just returns every cycle. So I don't know. These they'll come out of the weeds. He'll probably come back under an anonymous account and still fucking sap a couple of billion out of the fucking market. We'll just do the whole thing. We'll do the exact same thing over and over and over again. That's just how it works. So
and then we'll all just say, yeah, but it's crypto. It's fine. Don't worry, it's just crypto.
I'll put this one towards the end. But yeah, there was a few more developments. So this you just can't make this shit up. So as of June 26, 2022, the borrower, 3 Hours Capital Limited, lender Kelly Chen, and the borrowed amount is 65.697 million. So I think that's Sue's or Kyle's wife. So effectively, they've lent that one of their wives 66 million nearly. Jesus. All the while, no one knows what the fuck they're up to.
No, but if they were in Singapore, she would be going straight down to Marina Bay Sands and just having a wicked time shopping. Or they'll go to like Changi Airport and just have a great time. Could you imagine that on your Google Pay right now? You got $65 million, right? 66 million to go shopping with, mate. You're going to go in all those shops and go boop, 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 like that.
So then naturally Twitter's responded with what I'm assuming is a fake account of Kyle Davies' wife.
But if it's not, that is rubbing salt into the wound, but in a really funny, larpy way.
Someone's replied underneath just saying this is a random picture of an Asian woman.
I was supposed to be my next question, like, because I've never seen her. Like, is that her?
No, I have no idea. I have no idea what she looks like. Yeah. And then Suze came out and filed a $5 million claim against his own company, basically saying, it's like that meme I was on about where he's looking at himself in the mirror, just saying this is just effectively that meme, saying you owe me $5 million.
This is like us every single morning. Like, you know, you do your little pump up talk, then you get trading view up, then you sit down with your charts here. We're going to do it today. It dips, I'm going to buy it. If it pumps, I'm going to sell it. When in reality, you do always do it the other way. Right there we go. Look at that. You're a Chad.
God. So yeah, we'll probably have a few more chronicles next week. But been through this, been through Pelosi. Yeah, and we touched on it last week. The ENS. I mean, I don't know how the ENS token works. I don't know if it has any value accrual or any. It's probably just a fucking useless governance token slapped on top of a protocol that derives value from minting useless ENS names. But Amazon.eth, $1 million bid. I think it's slightly higher than that now. Let me just check.
If that's not Jeff buying it, that's just ridiculous. Jeff has to buy his own ENS.
Well, that's what they're hoping for, aren't they? Like, no, I think ENS. Maybe it was God. That is. Let me see. Yeah, I can't find it with that. Oh, 20th of July, 1.1 million offer on God.eth. I'm pretty sure I've seen a 1.6, but
I like how you
anyway.
search for God and it just comes up with Macca's. Look at that.
It's because Chainlink God.eth is posting more Chainlink spam about Sergey and Big Macs.
Oh my God.
But yeah, some little fucker as well. My brother pointed this out. Someone's bought blocmates.eth, like spelled the same way, and
Mate,
and
somebody
he's got it
stole
up
my
on offers only.
Wait, because hasn't somebody stolen like Blockmate's Twitter as well?
Yeah, so there was. So I originally had Blockmates at Blockmates. Obviously, it's spelt like a complete idiot because that was easy to get the domain. It was easy to get the handle. And then I got logged out, and it was my own fault, to be honest. The phone that I had back in the UK with a different number was the kind of sign-in number, and obviously it would never return to the UK anytime soon. I don't even know where the SIM was. And so I tried to sign in, and it signed me out, and I couldn't get back in, so I had to make this new one. Obviously, it works quite well for the website anyway. And then a few weeks later, I get like this message. I get this message on Telegram of this guy saying, "Can you tell your community to stop messaging me on Twitter, please?" And I was like, "How did you get that handle?" And he was like, "Well, I was just allowed it from Twitter." And I was like, "I think some funny business has been going on there." But probably the same fucking guy, who's bought Blockmates. I mean, if anyone's listening or anyone knows whoever that is, there's no way on earth I'm going to buy that. So it's just like,
how much are they charging?
Let me see.
69,420 has to be.
He's not getting a penny out of me. He's obviously just went through Twitter and seen like specific accounts and
yeah. Oh, nothing on there.
Because it was only 5 months ago as well. A little shit.
Young mama.
So whoever's got this, I'm just going to right click and save it. Yeah, how do you feel about that?
Yeah. Fucker.
I might just put him like a little stink bid in.
Oh my God, do a joke bid. Have you got any ENSs, like any of these, like just random good words of ones?
I've got some, but I don't want to dox my wallet.
Okay. Yeah, okay, of course. We will do this. We'll do this offline.
I've got a couple of four-digit numbers. So, like, for example, I wish I did have this one, but like 1234.eth.
Yeah.
But it's not that. It's just like a random 4 numbers.eth.
Yeah.
But
I'd love to have
we'll see.
Like 1337 for like Leet, and like from probably like that the old Halo days. I don't know if you ever watched the video, but it was because Elite was the elites in Halo, and then it would be the guy an elite teabagging one of like the Halo Spartans, and he goes, "I'm so leet skeet skeet." Now, honestly, that is a good price. That is actually quite a good price. If 4 digits are going to go up, every RuneScaper, Haloer, Wower, whatever will want to buy that. Oh, I was going to get Chidoshi. Somebody stole Chidoshi.
Go and get it. Go and get it now. You can get that. Chad. Oh shit.
Yeah, somebody stole this one. Yeah. Little bugger.
You could go and get yours before we list this.
Before somebody front runs me.
Yeah. All right. I think but yeah, let's just see where we are. Let's see if we've tanked the market during the stream.
Did we successfully tank the market in 45 minutes? Let's see.
Yeah, let's finish with, is there any specific projects you're looking at this week? There's one for me that I quite like the look of, a little bit niche, a little bit out there.
One that I don't know, because I was traveling, I just didn't get into it, and I even made like a little bit of like a video on it, but it was Katina Royale, and they've just launched on the Elrond network at C, so Katina, and essentially it's a game. So their ticker is going to be CRT. So I think the actual coin goes live in like a day or so, and basically you could get like, it's like the IDO coin. And this game's really clever because it has no barriers to entries. You get given a free NFT to start, and then you can ape on top of it. And like they've also done it so like it's brainless for people to sign up, but it's easy for devs to use as well. And it's on the it's through Verco, and like the NFTs to start with will look like Bored Ape Yacht Club. I want to see like them bring in like crypto punks, etc. But this is something that's going to be super interesting. And did you ever play Gorilla Bob as a kid on mobile?
No, I didn't. No.
No, okay. So Gorilla Bob looks exactly like this, and you get proper Gorilla Bob vibes. Yeah,
Gorilla Bob vibes.
yeah. One of my friends minted 10 Genesis apes, which would be very interesting to see. And the Mare decks, when Elrond had like a massive run last year, one of my friends was on the Mare. I didn't really understand it back then, but he was just like, and this when we had that DeFi season, just printing. It was ridiculous. But this would be cool, man.
It did really well, didn't it, Elrond, in that run up? It was like one of those ones where it goes up so quickly and so hard, you physically can't get an entry unless you just have to kind of, when something's going up so vertical so quickly, you just kind of just bite the bullet and get in.
Yeah.
But for me, now this might be a little bit out there, but like, bear with me. So this, I mean, in a roundabout way. So this is XMON when the chart loads. So obviously really high price tag, but the supply is
was this a game?
I forgot what the actual supply. No, but I think that was PMON, wasn't it? Yeah. So circulating supply 2,474, hence the 16,809 price tag. Obviously, you can buy less than one for people who are new to the space. You don't have to buy a full one, just like you don't have to buy a full Bitcoin, funnily enough. But there's a lot of speculation around XMON at the minute because I believe their developers, like XMON, at the foundational level, is a NFT project, I believe. Obviously tokenized with XMON, and there's an awful lot of speculation, and there's been a few projects that came across my desk that they're looking to create kind of automated market makers, what you use for your liquidity pools on all the known and loved decentralized exchanges, but for NFTs. So it'd be effectively, what would even be the phrase? It's like this NFT kind of DeFi crossover. And the project that's leading the way on this is SudoSwap. So, but there is no SudoSwap token. So you can kind of create pools with NFTs. It's all weird and wonderful. It feels like it's like one of the first times I've felt like this is something really, really new in this space for quite a long time. It's not just a basic fork of something. Like, so this TPI.
So how does this work
floor
then?
price? So you can create a pool, view all the pools that you want to provide liquidity. So buy NFTs with tokens, you will deposit tokens and receive NFTs. People will swap their NFTs for your deposited tokens. So effectively you can put in so you deposit tokens into a contract and say, I want to buy, I don't know, Bored Ape for I don't know, whatever amount of ETH. And then if someone comes along and sees the offer on that, they could effectively trade in and out of that. So it's effectively creating like a liquidity pool for people to be able to seamlessly buy and sell NFTs. So and then this is starts getting really weird. So you could deposit NFTs and tokens and earn the trading fees as people buy and sell NFTs using your pool. So it's really wacky. I don't think people have begun to even really explore this just yet. But from the amount of kind of thing, like the amount of messages I've been getting recently about projects that are saying, can you check this out for us? NFT, AMMs and things like that. So SudoSwap, if you dig a little deeper, it doesn't have a token, but the Xmon team seems to be the guys that have developed it. And speculation says that exposure to Xmon will potentially be one of the ways to gain exposure to any any future pseudo airdrop. So, given such low supply of Xmon, then this is all speculation. Like, this could be completely wrong. They could give it to people who've actively used the platform at a higher degree than Xmon holders. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm surmising, and the market seems to be pricing that in as well. I mean, we've run up from what's that, like lows here of 3K.
Wow.
16, so like 5x.
It's not bad.
Pushed 18K, so like 6x. That's probably one of the strongest performing holds off the bottom.
Okay,
So yeah,
well, that's definitely on my radar.
So, and what we will do as well, just before we leave everyone, is little interesting players like this. We'll keep them specifically for, like, you won't find this on our Twitter. You won't find this basically anywhere other than our YouTube streams or the newsletter, which will be in the description for everyone to sign up to. Dan's heading the newsletter, did a brilliant job for it on last week. That should land in your inbox on Monday. It'll take you 5 weeks, 5 minutes to read. It should give you a complete overview. It's called the catch up, so it's kind of self-explanatory. If anyone knows what the hustle is or Milk Road or anything like that, that's what we're going for. Hopefully, we can make it a little bit better, and a little bit more crypto tailored as well. So you can sign up to that. It should be in the description now. Yeah, we're going to just keep building that out and drop little nuggets of alpha in there just to keep people coming back for more.
And as we have your brother doing all of the post editing, ladies and gentlemen, click subscribe up there, click the newsletter up there. Something's going to be down there, ready to go. I hope your brother can do that. So then all these like finger points, like bam, 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 actually like as something that looks cool on the screen. Otherwise, it's going to look like a complete pleb. And I, ladies and gentlemen, will be pleb of the week, but that is okay.
Right, I think that's it from us. We'll be back. It should be something dropping on Monday morning with Change Finance. The brilliant interview we had with them last night, so we'll make sure we get that up. There might actually be a Cosmos interview with Tyborg, who is an absolute chad. That's something you should really, really go and watch if you're trying to get front on the rest of the market. Obviously, Atom outperformed last night. There's an awful lot of room there for it to run up to 20. And we also dug into some of the lower cap projects that are on the Cosmos ecosystem, and an awful lot of projects that are yet to be released. So there's still an awful lot of opportunity there. So go and watch that. That'll be posted tomorrow. And as I say, the Change Finance interview should be with everyone on Monday, along with the catch-up newsletter, which is below. So yeah, thanks. Do all that YouTube stuff, like, subscribe, and all that jazz. Yeah, see you next time.
Peace.